What is going on, guys? It is BenQ here, back with another guide. So we're back with more Warzone, and I've got some awesome tips and tricks coming in this video that you guys will like. I've also got some in-depth information just in case you guys don't know every little thing about Warzone. So this video should help out a lot. Anyways guys, let's get it started. So first we've got the unlimited self-revive trick. And yes, self-revive. So how you'll perform this trick is firstly, you'll want to buy a self-revive kit from the shop. Now, anytime you do go down from a fight, instead of using the kit fully, use the kit halfway or as much as you can before it gets you up. You'll then ask your teammate to get you up, and all he has to do is click on you for about a second, and you'll be up with the same self-revive kit. This is great for two reasons. If you go down multiple times, no need to buy more than one self-revive kit, which will burn all your cash. And you can make it so your revive becomes instantaneous. Moving on guys, with this next trick, you're able to stack UAVs to triple the range. Now, it might be useful in some situations where you want to know where every single enemy is, but in most cases, it probably won't. The time the UAV stays online also doesn't stack, so in a way, it's a waste of 2 extra UAVs. Although it's just a little tip if you do want to triple your UAV range for the time being. Alright, so this next tip, if you guys don't know, you can also open doors and pick up items while putting armor on. It's just good to know anytime you're being pushed and you're not sure if doing certain animations will cancel your armor. Moving on guys, if you've eliminated a player, put a claimer on top of his loot. That way if he wins a Ghoul Egg, he's going to most likely drop right back onto his loot, resulting in him getting eliminated from your claymore. Or better yet, his teammates will most likely run over his loot pile and blow up to the claymore because of the need for some extra armor pieces, because you guys know how scarce armor can be, so looting any body will always be worth it for an extra armor or 2. Alright, so keep this next tip in mind. If there's no one in the Ghoul Egg after about a minute, you'll be put back into the game without needing to do a 1v1. And in case you guys do not know yet, the Ghoul Egg is an area you get put into after getting eliminated in Warzone. You'll have a chance to be redeployed back towards your teammate as long as you win it. Another tip is that you can actually jump off any height and pull your parachute. If you have played enough, then you guys probably already know this, but I'm sure there's a bunch of people that don't know this yet. Now on top of this, you can pull your parachute unlimited times, so do not be scared to use it if you're high up in the air or if you're just jumping off a building. Moving on guys, I've included this next tip in my last guide, but I'll quickly run through it here, and that is that you can touch down on the ground quicker than any player if you do follow this strategy. So what you want to do is after jumping out of the plane, you'll pull your parachute right away. You'll then cut the parachute, plummeting you to the ground. The moment you're about to touch the ground, redeploy your parachute to avoid falling to your death. This will allow you to touch down onto the ground at about an extra 3 seconds before your opponents do. Now you might notice your opponents are much lower than you when you execute this trick, but the moment you're almost at the ground, you'll notice all their parachutes are pulled a lot higher off the ground. The reason for this is because at a certain height, your parachute will auto-deploy. But with this trick, you're able to avoid that issue. Now, I'll expand on one more cool parachute trick that I've explained in my last guide. So you're able to glide much farther with this trick without the need of keeping your parachute active the whole time. To execute this trick, you'll once again deploy your parachute the moment you jump. You'll then continue holding W, and after about 2 to 3 seconds of having your parachute deployed, you'll cut it and continue holding forward. You'll notice yourself being flung forwards while having a nice speed build up horizontally. After about another 2-3 seconds, you'll redeploy your parachute again and continue the process until you've reached your desired landing spot. The next tip I've got is that you can have 3 people on an ATV or on any vehicle, no matter how small it is, believe it or not. And a strategy you can do if you've got a buggy is to get one player proned on top of it. This allows you to freely take shots at opponents from any angle instead of being limited to one side. Now, this is risky as you're very exposed on top of a vehicle, but it's also great because it gives you free range of movement. Another tip I want to give you guys is about the terrain around the map. Now, rocks are not easy to climb and do need some sort of developer work for sure. You cannot simply vault over rocks or small pebbles simply because in Warzone they made it quite hard to do. Now, I do not know if this is intentional or if they'll end up fixing this issue, but as you guys can see in this clip I got from Summit, he runs around the mountains simply because you just can't vault on top of the rocks. This end zone you're watching in this clip is a common one you'll find the more you play, and I want to just inform you guys to run around the mountain as early as you can and do not wait around because the rocks will kill you. So it's just a little tip to keep in mind. Sum it up guys, endgame rock zones are something to be more aware around. Alright guys, let's get into some more important info throughout the game. Call of Duty Warzone has weapon rarities. Now, the higher the rarity, the more attachments the weapon will have. You cannot remove attachments in Warzone, so what you see is what you get. Now, let's go over these rarities. we've got common weapon or loot box rarities with the color rarity of gray giving you no attachments, green being uncommon, blue being rare, purple loot giving you an epic rarity which includes 4 attachments on the weapon with a bonus of equipment and field upgrades, and lastly we've got legendary which comes in the rarity color of orange and includes 5 loadout attachments with the hard to find field upgrade aka stopping power rounds. On top of this, the orange loot box will usually include a gas mask or a self revive kit. Alright, so moving on, let's talk about these armor plates you guys see at the bottom left. So a basic breakdown of how healing works is that you've got 3 blue bars you want to fill up with these armor plates you find around the map, or you can buy them at a shop station. Using 3 armor plates will put you at 3 bars, giving yourself full armor. Now if you've got 10 HP or 90 on one of the blue bars, you'll have to use 1 full armor plate to get it to full. This full armor plate will not transfer over to the next armor plate. So basically, if you've got 90% of one of the blue bars filled up, using 1 armor will only give you that last 10% of armor to fill up that blue bar. It will not carry over the last 90% left to the next blue bar, making you need to use another armor plate if you do need to fill up another armor bar. Now, you can only stack 5 armor plates at a time, and you'll notice yourself running around the map constantly looking for armor plates, or hitting the shop pretty often to buy more for you or your teammates. It's normal guys, so be prepared to be on a constant armor hunt throughout every game you play. Now, I did talk about the gas mask about a minute ago. I didn't explain it, so let me tell you guys everything you need to know. The gas mask is an item you can find around the map that will not take up any slots, so pick it up anytime you guys don't have one. What it will do is allow you to sit in the zone for 12 seconds to not take any damage. This is a stacking 12 seconds, so if you've sat in the zone for 5 seconds, you've now got 7 seconds left on your gas mask before it breaks. The moment it breaks, you'll be exposed to the gas which will result in you taking damage until you've simply gotten out of it. Always pick up the gas mask, especially guys if you're making it to the end game quite often. The smaller the circle, the more often you'll be caught out in the gas because of how hard it is to notice. Now yes, it's sometimes pretty hard to notice the gas is right behind you, so being edge zone gas is always risky. The gas has a gradient look to it and there isn't some sort of clear blue indication like Fortnite has. It's much harder to see guys, it's more like H1Z1 I'd say. So if you do make it out to endgame pretty often, really pay attention to when the gas starts moving, especially if you do not have a gas mask, because it will catch you off guard. The next tip I want to give you guys is to not hold off on contracts around the map, which are small computer tablets you can find. These include bounty contracts, scavenger contracts, and recon contracts. Bounty contracts will give you a target player from another squad that you have to eliminate. On your map, the approximate area where this enemy team is will be marked as a yellow circle. You head to the location to try to eliminate that one player from the enemy team. The player's name you've got to eliminate will be shown on the left side of your screen, and you've got a certain time frame to eliminate this player. Underneath the name, you'll be given a certain amount of cash if you do complete this task. Now, if you do not complete this task, the other team you are tracking will be given a certain amount of cash on their end. And say you guys were the ones being tracked, you'll now see your name or your teammate's name on the left side of your screen with 3 bars. These 3 bars by default will have one that's highlighted yellow. This indicates how close the enemy players are from you. If 2 out of the 3 bars turn yellow, that means they are getting closer and are probably going for the hunt. If all 3 bars turn yellow, then they're simply a few buildings over, so be aware and expect to fight very soon. Next, we've got the Scavenger Contracts. If you find one, you'll be sent to search 3 supply boxes one at a time, which show up as a magnify icon on your map. These supply crates give some really good loot, especially if you collect the last crate, which will give you a chance at finding the rarest loot like legendary weapons or field upgrades like stopping power or munitions box and a self-revive kit. On top of this loot, by completing the Scavenger Contract, you'll be rewarded a certain amount of money, and it's usually a pretty good chunk. Lastly, we've got the Recon Contract. This contract is marked as a flag on the map. It is completed by sitting on a marked location for a good minute. Once the bar hits 100%, the box will drop a bunch of loot for you. As a bonus, you also get to see where the next circle will be on the map. This also stacks, so doing another one will show you the next circle location after the first one. You can keep doing this until you've been shown the final circle. Now, one more thing I want to mention is that the moment you guys step around the recon location, a red flare will shoot up in the air, notifying other players you're around it, so you'll have to be cautious of your surroundings. And as a last tip guys, the red flare can also mean that a player was just revived at a shop location the flare was shot from. Knowing this, you can close in on the area knowing it's most likely either a 3v1 or a 3v2 for you guys. Well guys, hopefully this in-depth tips and tricks guide helped you guys out, and if it does, then a like and a sub will be greatly appreciated as it does help me out a lot. Anyways guys, hope you have a great rest of your day and night, and I'll see you on the next one.